Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you another very fascinating game played by the reigning world chess champion Magnus Carlsen. His opponent is Nikolay Chadaev, and this game was played in 2012 at World Blitz Chess Championship. Now let's see what happened on the board. Carlsen had white pieces and he started the game with e4, e5 by Chadaev, after which, believe it or not, but Carlsen went for King's Gambit. f4 is on the board. The King's Gambit was one of the most popular openings in the 19th century, but is infrequently seen in modern grandmaster play and even rarer at the top level. But as this was a blitz game, Carlsen decided to go for it and deliver a surprise. d5 by Chadaev. Chadaev is going for Fulkbeer counter gambit. He takes d5 and he takes f4. Of course, playing e4 leads to the true Fulkbeer counter gambit, but in the game after e takes d5 we see the modern transfer e takes f4, which is very popular nowadays. Knight f3, knight f6, c4, c6. Of course, now capturing on c6 can give black a great counterplay. That's why Carlsen played d4 and after c takes d5 played c5, locking up black's dark squared bishop. Knight c6. Instead of knight c6, black could also choose another alternative and play b6 and start undermining white's pawn chain, but in the game after c5 we see knight c6, bishop b5, bishop e7, we see castling by both sides and Carlsen wins back the sacrificed pawn. Bishop takes f4, bishop g4, knight c3, knight e4, queen d3, bishop f5. Already there is a very nasty threat. That's why Carlsen moved away his queen from the dangerous diagonal. Bishop f6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, knight e5, after which Chadaev got rid of the active knight on e5 square. Bishop takes e5 is on the board. Now that bishop on f5 is hanging, we see bishop g6, after which we also see the exchange of knights on e4 square. We have opposite color bishops and actually the players have equal chances, although white's position is preferable. White has a more active queen and is controlling the semi-open f5. Queen g3, already there is a mating threat. f6, bishop d6, rook e8, b4. Carlsen is starting an advancement on the queen's side. Now comes a4, a6, this time h4, queen d7, h5, bishop takes h5, and in return Carlsen won the pawn on f6. Queen g4, and after the exchange of queens we are in the endgame. Rook f4, bishop h5, rook f1. Of course, white has a very active position, but still black is holding. Bishop e5, rook a7, and b5 is on the board. A takes b5, a takes b5, c takes b5, and the c pawn is marching forward. c6. And it was in here that Chadaev made the first mistake and played rook a8. This is too passive, guys. It was better to play rook a6. If c7, then control the c pawn from behind. This looks more active. By the way, after rook a6, if move like rook c1, then black can play bishop e2 and then bishop c4. But black chose a more passive line and after c6 played rook a8. c7, and after king h7 black's position is starting to collapse. Rook b1, bishop e2, and the rook penetrates the 7th rank. Rook g8, rook e7, bishop c4 is on the board, king h2, rook e8, rook d7. Of course, white is rejecting the offer of exchange of rooks. Rook b2. Now with this beautiful rook maneuver, Carlsen's second rook will penetrate black's camp. Rook f8, g4, rook a8, and here we go. Rook f2 is on the board. b4, rook f7, h5, a desperate attempt, but here comes rook takes g7, and after the exchange of rooks on g7, Chadaev resigned. Here king h6 can be met with this devastating g5 checkmate. This looks like a checkmate from endgame studies. And if I move like king h8, then simply rook d7 check, and then rook d8, and the game is over. That's why after rook takes g7, Chadaev resigned. Another very interesting game, I think, though by choosing King's Gambit from the opening, Carlsen only managed to gain a slightly better position, but as you know, he's the lord of endgames, and in the end, with a very precise piece play, he managed to gain advantage and win the game. Thanks for watching, I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.